Okay, so this video is part one on the rise of fascism in Italy and the role of Benito Mussolini. Now, the word fascism is actually used a lot today as a derogatory word. Generally speaking, to insult people you don't agree with is often associated with right-wing politics, but historically it does actually have a meaning. And it's tied to Benito Mussolini and how he brought various characteristics into the political spectrum and how other people sought to recreate what he did. That is what fascism is. So we will get to that. But in the 20th century, especially in the first half of the 20th century, leading up to the Second World War, we can think of the rise of three big ideologies: capitalism or liberal democracy, led by the United States and Great Britain; fascism, led by Benito Mussolini and Adolf Hitler; and communism, led by the Soviet Union. After the Second World War, fascism was eliminated, and you ended up with the Soviet Union's leading communism and the United States leading capitalism to dominate the rest of the 20th century. But historically, fascism was very, very important, and it did lead to the Second World War with the rise of Adolf Hitler. So it does make sense to look at its rise. And what exactly is fascism? How do you define it? Now, the term is a bit vague because, unlike, say, communism, which has formal writings by Engels and Karl Marx, fascism is what a political leader did in order to implement his ideas. And hence, we label that as fascism. So it is closely tied up to Benito Mussolini and what he did. But basically, a quick definition is, it comes from the Italian word fascio, which means bundle or like a collection of rods or sticks. So the idea is, if you take one rod and you snap it, it's very easy. But if you tie it in a bundle, then all of a sudden you can't snap it. And Benito Mussolini borrowed this from the Roman magistrate, which had a bundle of rods attached to an axe. And the idea is that individually a person is weak, collectively they're strong. And that's hence it's supposed to be the philosophy of fascism. So why did he borrow from ancient Rome? Obviously, ancient Rome was this Italian civilization, began in Rome, conquered most of the Mediterranean world, Southern Europe, North Africa, Western Asia, created this very powerful empire. In the aftermath of the First World War in 1919, when Italy was feeling weak, humiliated, Benito Mussolini and this message of strength and unity and inspiration from the Roman Empire is something that appealed to Italians. So if you ask yourself, why do people accept the fact that he suppressed democracy, he banned the press, he introduced various forms of totalitarianism? It's because in the climate in which he rose to power, his message appealed to ordinary Italians.